Yes, you should leave your job if it doesn't make you happy, but you should leave it only for something that will. My name is Ariane and I left my job because I was miserable. In this video, I share with you the reasons that made me take that decision, which turned out to be the best of my life, so tag along. The first thing is that I realized that I actually deserved to be happy. And it might sound like a complete cliche, but it's actually the basis and the foundation of everything, because it all comes down to the value you give to your very existence. Do you think you are worthy of being happy? For a very long time I thought I wasn't. I was tired all the time.
I was waking up sad, I was going to work, I was sad, I was coming back from work, I was sad because I had to go back to work the next day.
And I basically had no purpose in my life. But happiness is actually a thing. You actually have the power to shape your life the way you want. You are absolutely not limited or constrained to whatever you've been doing so far. And that's the second thing I realized. Nothing but myself prevents me from going out there and getting the life I want. You might have heard of the concept of limiting beliefs. In a nutshell, limiting beliefs are beliefs that you have integrated so deeply in yourself that you don't question them anymore. They are a part of who you are or your personality. Like, for example, you think you're lazy, or you have too much anxiety to be your own boss. All these things are things you believe about yourself that are actually wrong. And all these things that you believe about yourself are preventing you from getting the life you love, because you think that you're not going to be able to make it. You can decide what you want your life to be. If tomorrow you decide you want to go live in Asia, technically, physically, nothing prevents you from doing it. Everything, all like 100% of the things that prevent you from doing it are your fears. What are the things that are holding you back from your dream life? And how many of these things are based on fear? I would be ready to bet all of them. You have accomplished so many things in your life so far. What makes you believe that you're not able to do it again? You might be thinking, I have so many things to lose. Do you? If you're not happy right now, why would you be holding on to something that does not bring you joy? Why would you be holding on to this life that does not make you happy? Whereas you have the power to build the life of your dreams if you eliminate all these limiting beliefs. What is the worst of the worst of the worst that could happen? I could guess you're gonna say, ending up sleeping under a bridge and losing all my friends and family. Sleeping under a bridge? Aren't you smart and wise enough to know when to stop? Are you gonna put yourself in debt to the extent that you're gonna end up sleeping under a bridge? No, you're not. You're not stupid. You will know where to stop. And when it comes to friends, when you love someone, don't you want their happiness? Don't you want to get over your own fear for that person because you see that they're going to be happy? And it's the same with your family, and it should actually be the same with you. Do you love yourself enough so that you can let go of your fears to get your own happiness? And yes, you will probably have to slow down on your expenses and live a bit less lavishly, but isn't it worth it when it's for the greater good of your happiness? And actually, you'll probably see that when you start doing that, it actually doesn't even feel like a sacrifice, because you're doing it for something that is so close to your heart and that makes so much sense. It just feels great. And also, you will be able to find another job. Yes, you will. Because think about it. If you were to hire someone and you had two identical CVs, and on one of the CVs, the person has been working on their business on their own, being an entrepreneur for a year. Imagine how much they have learned. Imagine how much value they can bring to your company if you hire them. So you will still be valuable on the job market. You will even be more valuable than someone who's been sitting at a desk for 8 hours a day, right? You don't have anything to lose. It's a win-win situation, actually. Letting go of things for something that is greater, it is not losing, it is investing. So start investing in yourself. You are worth it. Once you have identified what is the right thing for you, and you feel it in your gut and you're like, okay, I love myself, I'm gonna get the life of my dreams, you have to plan, because at the end of the day, it's great to live the life of your dreams, but it's also good to be able to pay the bills, right? You will save yourself a lot of trouble if you spend a little bit of time organizing and figuring out how things are going to be structured. The first thing you want to do is to figure out how much you need per month. What is the basic necessities that you need to pass by? If you have the opportunity to go live at your parents', for example, that can be a good solution because then you really decrease your expenses. Two conditions though, your parents should be up for it because you need a good environment. If you consider that the environment at your parents is not the best for you to thrive, or worse if it's toxic, then I wouldn't recommend going there because you're gonna go through some serious doubts, which are perfectly normal and healthy. So it's important that you have a surrounding that is supporting you and that you are in an environment where you feel you can express yourself, question yourself, and reinvent yourself safely. So if you can't go back to your parents and you have to pay for the rent or the mortgage you have, that's perfectly fine. Just plan on how much you have to spend per month and then save up accordingly. I know it sounds boring, it sounds probably super limiting, but it's actually the best way, because if you don't have this little mattress of money that you know you can use, you might put yourself under a lot of stress, which is not good if you want to grow your business, because you will need to feel emotionally safe if you want to be able to provide the value you want to provide. Another good thing to have is that milestone of, by that date I should be making money. Maybe not a lot, but at least money. And by that date I should be able to actually sustain my own expenses. And it is from that breaking point that you will be like, I'll start looking for a job. I would recommend putting this like little breaking point 3 months before your actual, okay, I just ran out of money, because then you have time to find another job. So the financial part, you can figure it out. You save up, you plan on your spendings, and you have this breaking point beyond which you have to go get another job. It's as simple as that. The other thing that you need on top of money is a good support system. And by support, I mean emotional support. Because you will be doubting yourself, because you will have to question yourself, to reinvent yourself. Things are not gonna work, and you're gonna have to figure out why and then figure out how to make them work. That is what is gonna make your product or your service great. So it's not a failure. It's just the normal process of things. So in these moments where your product is actually evolving towards something better, you will need to have people to tell you that everything is fine, because you're not going to feel fine. So you don't end up quitting, because there are a lot of entrepreneurs who don't give themselves the time to make their product better by figuring out what works and what doesn't. So you need that person to remind you that it's about time. I wouldn't recommend leaving your job with like no backup plan. I know that some people have done it and they are fine. Proof that, you know, this is possible, you're not gonna die, it's gonna be perfectly fine. But if you plan a bit in advance, if you save up, if you know what your product or service is gonna be about in the big scheme, I don't know if that works in English, then you're gonna save yourself the stress of being there on the first Monday of the rest of your life, opening your computer and Googling, best business ideas 2020. You don't want to be doing that. Also, you don't want to be spending that precious money that you have been saving up on figuring out what you want to do. So I know it is not nice to be going to a job that you don't like when you have something else in mind and you just want to quit and start your new life already. But by putting the foundations of what will be your new life, you're gonna save yourself so much time and worry that it is worth it. You've been taking it for years, you can take it for a few more months. Afterwards, it will be so worth it. And if you don't know what you want to do, if you are unhappy in your job, but you don't know what the heck else you could be doing, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell, because it's exactly what I'm going to talk about next week in my video. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you liked it, and I will see you next week. Bye guys!